Hello and welcome to Class 8 of Advanced CAD. Today we're going to be looking at top-down assemblies in Chapter 13. A top-down assembly is a method for creating a parametric part. A parametric part is a part that is driven by the geometry of another model. And without further ado, let's just get into it. First thing we do is load our model that they give us, which is the square remote top. And in order to create our parametric part, we need to put it into an assembly. So we come up to New, and we say Make Assembly from Part. And it's very convenient to put the part at the origin. In order to do that, we just hit that checkbox. And we can see that it's at the origin by showing our origin. This point is actually at the same point as this, which is also the top plane. So this was built so it was easy to do. So keep that in mind when you're building. Make it easy on yourself. Okay, let's create the new part. To do that, we come up to Insert Components and we hit the down arrow and we say New Part. And we're going to put that new part on that top plane since that's where we want it to start, which automatically puts us into sketch mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this outer edge and we're going to say select tangency, and that'll give us all those edges, and we're going to convert those to lines, and that'll give us a fully constrained sketch because it's using the size of the other model, so it's fully constrained to that other model. Now we're going to extrude that. We'll go to Features, Extrude Base Boss. We can see it's going the wrong direction, so we'll flip that direction. We'll set it for our depth 0.5, and then we're also going to give it a taper because it's a plastic part, and if we don't, it won't work when we go further on in the project. So we say OK. Now this part has a fillet at the bottom, so we'll select an edge and then just go up to our quick menu and say fillet and set that for 0.1875 and say OK. And this part is also hollowed out, so to do that we'd select the surface we want to remove, and we'll come up to Shell and we'll set our wall thickness to 0.040 and we'll say OK, and now we have our hollowed out part. Now let's take a look at what we need to do. So I'm going to get out of Edit Component View and I'm going to turn on my cross section and we can take a look at what we have. So what we're looking to do is thicken up this wall here all the way around so that this lip has something to rest on. So I'll get out of that view. I'll hide the top component because we don't need that right now, and I'll go back into Edit Part. That's allowing us to edit this part in the context of the assembly. So we're going to grab this surface and we're going to say New Sketch. And we're going to grab this edge like we did before and say Select Tangency, and then convert that to lines. Again, it's parametric to the inner diameter. If the shell changes, then this will change as well. And we're going to offset that. So we select that line and we say Offset Entities. It selects them all because it's set for chain over here, but we want it on the inside, so we're going to reverse that and we're going to set that thickness 0.040 and say OK. Now we're going to extrude this down. So we'll go over to Features, Extrude Base Boss. It's going the wrong direction, so we'll fix that. And we're going to say Up to Next. And that's going to get it down to that fillet. Now if that taper wasn't there, this part wouldn't have worked, so it's important you put that taper in. We also want to create a gap here so that we have a place for that lip to come in. Do that where it says From Sketch Plane, we're going to change to Offset, and we're going to set that distance 0.060. That's going in the wrong direction, so we'll flip that around, and there's our void. So there we go. Now we have a place for that lip to sit. And to make this neater, we're going to fill at the bottom. I believe that's 125. And there we have the bottom. This is complete now. Let's see what it looks like in the assembly. So I just got out of edit component mode. View that top part. And what we're going to do, I'm going to rebuild this. What we're going to do to show that it's parametric is go into this model, and we're just going to select that first feature there, that boss that defined that rectangle there. And we're going to double click it, and that'll bring up the dimensions. We can make modifications to this just by double clicking the dimension. I'll just click in there and say plus 0.25. I'll do the same thing at the 2-inch, plus 0.25. But nothing's happened. That's because we need to rebuild it. So we'll just come up to the rebuild, which is also the stoplight, and we rebuild. And wow, look at that. We've changed the entire model, both parts, in one step. So this part is basically done. The only other thing they were showing you in this exercise was how to change the way it looks, and they were doing it in a complicated way by going up here and changing things. Really, the easiest way is right here. Display style. This doesn't show the tangencies. It shows it as a wireframe with hidden lines removed. This shows it with phantom hidden lines. This shows it with all the lines, and then they've got the real view, which my video card can't handle, so I can't show you, but you've seen that at school. So that's it for this, and I'll see you on the next one.